Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a chill day on a hot summer day. It is a little past 7 o'clock in the evening and it is 87 degrees. It is hot, but I've done my best to kind of cool it off a bit in my Subaru. I do have a fan, but I'm currently charging it on the power station. So once that fan charges, best believe I'll have it going in here to get some air circulating. So right now I just have my window cover up on the driver's side, windshield cover up to reflect the sun. The sun is starting to go down, so I'm grateful for that. It is windy, so I do have my sunroof open to get some of that beautiful wind in here, and I got my two side windows cracked. I do have some updates for you guys as far as my Subaru and my internet situation, but I'll talk about that a little later on in the video. But first, I'm going to attempt to make my own version of Cheeto mac and cheese. I always see it in the stores, the Flaming Hot or the regular Cheeto mac and cheese, but it's giving Kraft macaroni and cheese cardboard tasting vibes. As a kid, Kraft was good, but now you try it and it's just tastes stale. It's giving cardboard box taste. So I'm afraid to try it and waste my money. So I'm like, you know what? While I'm reading the comments of you guys roasting me and you're reacting to your comments and answering some of your questions from my Greyhound bus video, I'm going to attempt to make my own. This is not a recipe that I'm giving out. This is just me just trying something, experimenting. I hope it's good because your girl's hungry. So let's get started. Let me show you some of the ingredients and then we can start reacting and answering some of these questions and talking about some of your guys' comments, guys, because yeah. All right, let's get dinner started. I have this cheese sauce, which I actually love. I've got some extra Flaming Hots. I opened it to try it, and these are really hot. I have never had Flaming Hot Cheetos ever in my life. This is the first time trying it, and I tried the extra, and this does have a little bit a kick to it. I have some of these Cheeto Puffs that are crushed up because that's going to go within my cheese sauce. I've got some pepper. I got my noodles. I don't have salt because, of course, there's salt in the chips and all that stuff. So I'm going to see what I can make out of it. I know it probably doesn't look appealing, but hopefully I'll like it because I'll be the only one eating it. Okay, let's read some of your wild and crazy comments and I'll react to a few of them. Macaroni is about done. I'm going to actually turn it down. I don't want it to burn. I did add tuna to it because I need protein. I haven't eaten all day, and so if I don't have protein, I'm going to be hungry later. So I added a can of tuna to the mac and cheese. Cheeto mac and cheese. So the first comment is, which is a nightmare, to me, this one is a nightmare experience on Greyhound. My last Greyhound trip, we had a man with no belt for his pants, so every time he walked to the bathroom, his pants were at his knees. No underwear. Oh, absolutely not. Absolute nightmare. And notice how they said my last Greyhound trip. So I'm assuming that that was the straw that broke the camel's back? Because, baby, I couldn't do it. You do see a lot of crazy stuff on the bus. I tell you, I saw a lot within my 3-day trip. Next comment, and I'll react to this one, but I'm gonna read it first. I would like to clarify that the bus driver was not at fault in this situation. For those of you who haven't seen the video, I would recommend watching the video before you watch this one, but they're just talking about the portion of my video where the bus driver was yelling at us because she believed that someone was vaping on the bus. So, I'd like to clarify that the bus driver was not at fault in the situation. Someone was vaping on the bus, and no one should be subjected to that. It's both inappropriate and a health concern. The driver took the correct action by addressing the issue, especially considering she was feeling dizzy at the time. Her response was responsible and appropriate under the circumstances. I think this is one of those situations where you have to be there to kind of understand why I felt the way that I felt and how she reacted. I'm going to tell you how I felt now. First of all, on that bus, there were a variety of people with a variety of personalities. You had a gentleman or a guy on there and his girlfriend, and he was verbally abusing her every chance he got. You had people on there with clear, obvious signs of, mental health struggle, just by them, yelling, talking to themselves. One lady threw her trash all over the floor, was cussing the bus driver out, the previous bus driver out. You had people that had been kicked out of their house, was, going to another state. You had people that were pregnant. So it was a lot going on. Mind you, this is Greyhound. This is not the airport where TSA, you got to go through the security, go through TSA, and they check you for any kind of weapons, firearms, and things like that. That's not this. So Greyhound, you could have a firearm, you could have a knife, you could have some kind of weapon, and that is concerning. And so while I agree that that bus driver had every right to address the issue, my problem is she did not address it in a very professional manner. For one, the way she addressed it not only put her life in danger, but put everybody else's life on that bus in danger. I didn't get all of her rants, but she walked up and down the aisle, accusing people. Was it you? Were you vaping? Was it you? You had people screaming at her because she was threatening to leave us on the side of the highway. Mind you, this is at about 12:30 in the morning, and this was her second time pulling off of the highway, off of our course towards Missouri. Mind you, you have people on that bus who have to catch connecting buses at Missouri. So not only was she threatening to leave us on the side of the highway, she was threatening to, hey, if I have to keep pulling over to address certain things, then you guys aren't going to be catching your connecting bus. Greyhound is not for people. Greyhound is cheap. So with that being said, a lot of people go on Greyhound because it is a $30 or $20 ticket. So with that being said, let's just assume a lot of people can't afford to purchase a connecting ticket, another ticket to, their next destination in the event that we miss our connecting bus. Greyhound is not like the airport. They're not going to put you on the next flight. You have to call customer service and address your concerns. And from the reviews that I've seen about customer service, there is no customer service. They don't care. So while she had every right to address it, I was there on that bus, and the climate on that bus was very hot. People were irritated, they were agitated, they were exhausted, they were tired dealing with her, and all she did was yell. And when she threatened to, hey, if I have to pull over again, you guys might miss your bus, a guy in the back yelled and said, "It'll be because of you. You'll be at fault." So you gotta understand kind of the climate and the temperature of the bus. It wasn't good. I'll give you a situation where we did have a bus driver address a person on the bus while he was driving. They had their music playing with no headphones after he said that, hey, if you have music, use headphones. If you're on the phone, can't be on speaker. He just politely got on the PA system and said, whoever's got their music playing, please plug in your headphones or turn off your phone or turn off the music. And the person did that. So while I don't take away from her feelings of smelling vape, mind you, at the time she was yelling at us, when she started yelling, I didn't have my mask on. I didn't smell vape. I don't smoke. I don't vape. So I'm very sensitive to smoke. I was sitting 2 rows away from the driver. She is encased in plexiglass and her window was cracked. So I don't know what she was smelling. I'm not saying that she didn't smell vape. I didn't smell vape, and I was 2 rows behind her, and she's encased in plexiglass or whatever, and she had her window cracked. So that's kind of my take on it. I didn't smell any vape. I don't know what she was smelling. Maybe it was vape. Maybe I missed that. I don't know. But she had every right to address it. I just felt like it was unprofessional in the way that she addressed it. And she not only put her life in danger, but she put a lot of us on that bus, our lives in danger as well. Because you don't know what personalities that you're dealing with. You don't know if people are on the edge, and that yelling and walking up and down the aisle accusing people, that might push them over the edge and they might snap. So also too, I didn't say in the video that when she got on the bus, she already had an attitude. She came on the bus with an attitude, and people were like, oh man, we just got to make it to Missouri. So she automatically changed the temperament of the bus once she got on. We were all cool vibing out. But once she got on with that attitude, we could tell when she got on that PA system, everybody was like, oh man, it's going to be a long ride. And it was. Next comment. One guy said, Greyhound is my favorite way to travel. I wish it was my favorite way to travel. You must have got a really good route, a really good, crew, a really good driver. Everything must have been smooth. I mean, if I would have had his experience or this person's experience, I would consider doing Greyhound again. Great way to save money and save miles on my car. So yeah, you were lucky, very, very lucky. Another comment, and I got a lot of these types of comments, a lot. I'm sorry, Nomi. I laughed all throughout this video. Girl, I laughed too. When it was all said and done and I look back on it, I was just like, my facial expressions, everything was funny. But in the moment, I was just like over it and ready to get off the bus. Another comment, what a hilarious adventure. I'm happy you made it safely to your destination. It was, that's just another example of people, saying it was hilarious. They laughed, and I'm glad I could give you guys a good laugh and you guys enjoyed the adventure. Never again, though. Girl, that will be your last Greyhound bus ride. I bet I'd rather walk from Vegas to Detroit, and you ain't lying. If I had the option to do it all over again, I wouldn't get on Greyhound. I would just get me some walking shoes and get to walking. I would literally rather walk from Vegas to Detroit than get on Greyhound ever again. Oh my gosh, this was hilarious. You see, I'm just giving you guys examples. I'm telling you, I got a lot of those types of comments throughout the video. And I'm glad I could give you guys a good chuckle. Nomi, what made you want to catch Greyhound? Looking back, I was just like, what made me? Honestly, no, I've never been on a Greyhound bus before. In my mind, I had a different vision of Greyhound. I thought it would be like this magical, like really cool, like, nomad, one backpack solo journey across America, stopping at different stops, and just, it wasn't that. I thought it would be soothing and quiet and clean and comforting. Yeah, I honestly just did Greyhound because I wanted to just do it just to say I've done it, because I've never ever been on a Greyhound bus. I've been on cruises, I've been, on trains, I've flown in planes, my Subaru, my van. Greyhound, like an actual like public bus, was like the first, I needed to add that to the list. So it was just something to do to say I did it. That's why I did it. Another one of, another example of somebody thinking it's funny. I think this is one of the funniest videos you have posted. I recently took a bus from Kentucky to Georgia and had a similar experience, and you know what it's like. I'm glad you decided to do this. It was educational. I did it so you don't have to do it, or so you don't have to do it again. Definitely educational. And then one person said, 60 hours? Girl! Yes, when you factor in the delays, when you factor in waiting on the bus driver, when you factor in stopping and going to the gas stations and different stops, about 60 hours. And then this, comment is so true. And this is what I realized at the end of, my trip. While not luxurious by any means, Greyhound is an essential service in America. They provide transportation to people who cannot afford to fly or drive. They service rural and in between towns that aren't serviced by Amtrak, let alone no airports. And that's so true. It is definitely, Greyhound definitely services a group of people who can't, who maybe not have transportation or don't have the money to fly or Greyhound or Amtrak, because Amtrak is expensive. It's a little more expensive if you do coach. It's a little more expensive than a actual Greyhound ticket. But I think Amtrak, honestly, if you could get on Amtrak and do coach, if you're willing to sit on Greyhound for long distances, I would opt to look into Amtrak. It's a lot safer than looking into doing Greyhound. That's just my personal opinion based on my experiences. And then another comment says, don't give your bus driver attitude, as it is not beyond them to drop you in the middle of nowhere. And she said what she said. Leave us on the side of the highway, get an Uber, go to the airport, and fly back to her home. Period. Someone asked, could you tell if anyone was actually vaping? I couldn't. Like I said, I don't smoke. I don't vape. I have a really sensitive nose. I cannot stand the smell of cigarette smells and smoke and all of that. I personally did not. I was sitting 2 rows behind her. I smelt no vaping. There were a few kids sitting next to me, a couple of, an elderly lady, and then a guy. We were just looking like, I don't smell anything. But then again, like I said, I'm not invalidating her feelings and what she smelled. I just didn't smell any vaping smoke. And then lastly, did any of the drivers doing ticket checks give you a hard time for having 2 reserved seats? My last leg, when I got to Dayton, Ohio, from Dayton, Ohio to Detroit, I had bought 1A and 1B, or no, it was 1C and 1D. The driver, he had an assistant with him, and the assistant took my seats. He's like, no. I was like, yeah, I paid for these 2 seats. These are my seats. He's like, yeah, you're going to have to find somewhere else to sit. So he wouldn't give me my seats even though I paid for them. I'm not about to argue. It's not worth it. It's not worth my peace. It is what it is. I paid $60 total. And so I just went to the back and sat next to somebody. Luckily, I sat next to a really cool chick. We laughed. We joked the whole time. It made my experience from Dayton, Ohio to Detroit so much more bearable. She was a real cool, down-to-earth lady. We had a good time on that. And that is just some of the comments that I wanted to react to. All of you guys, left really, really interesting stories, and some of them really horrific. And I think out of all the stories I read, 99.9% of you said you will never be taking Greyhound bus ever again. And I get it, because neither will I. At the end of the day, just wrapping things up, it was smooth for the most part. It just takes a couple of people to kind of give everybody else a bad experience on the bus. All the bus drivers were pretty chill, except the one that was yelling about the vaping. Not to say she wasn't chill, it's just how she handled situations that she felt needed handling, which I don't, again, blame her. It's your bus, you're the driver, but it's just in addressing these situations, you have to factor in people's personalities, mental health statuses, situational statuses. Everybody's on that bus. It looks like fleeing from something or going somewhere or drifting somewhere. It was just a mixed array of different personalities, and it seemed like a lot of people were just tired and a little bit on the edge, frustrated, and just got to keep that in mind when you're addressing a situation, because we don't have security on the bus. There are no undercover cops, no security. It's just us out there. And so outside of that, it was a long ride, guys. And I can say this with the utmost confidence: I will never, and I mean ever, take Greyhound bus ever again. Now, let's just check the mac and cheese and see how it tastes. All right, here is the mac and cheese. I mean, it looks really good and it smells delicious. Let's give it a try. That's what it looks like. Here we go. Oh, wow. With the tuna, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Without the tuna, I could imagine this would be a 10 out of 10. Straight cheesy, Cheeto Puffs. If you like Cheeto Puffs, it has a nice flavor. It's subtle because it's there. But I think it could have been more powerful if I didn't throw the tuna here. But this is so creamy. It's so good. Wow. And that cheese sauce I used reminds me of like nacho cheese kind of sauce. The crushed up Cheeto Puffs is a nice touch. Wow, this tastes really good. Guys, this is an 8 out of 10. That is a straight 8 out of 10. This is amazing. That cheese is so good. It's just freaking amazing, guys. I think I'm onto something. I think this is how I want my mac and cheese going forward. Next time I'm going to make this, but I'm not going to throw tuna in it. I need tuna because I'm hungry. And it's still nice. Like I said, it's 8 out of 10. But without the tuna, this could be a 10 out of 10. Straight cheesy Cheeto Puff goodness. Yeah, this could be straight a 10 out of 10. I didn't put any crushed up Flamin' Hot because I'm already hot. And the Flamin' Hots plus me being hot might make me sweat. I'm actually feeling a lot cooler because you can hear my fan in the background. I apologize for that, but it's a lot cooler in here. I'll turn it down. This is so good, guys. I'm not even lying to you. This is so good. Yeah, I'm making this again. But next time, no water. No water. Next time, no tuna. Sun is finally starting to go down. I'm so happy. Ooh. But I'm going to go ahead and finish my dinner and then go hunker down somewhere. Today's just a chill, relaxed day. Trying to stay cool in this summer heat. And y'all see why I like the winter. I do not like the summer at all. I like the summer months because it's like no inclement weather or anything like that. But I'm not a big fan of the heat. I like the winter. I like staying cold and cool. I could do winter 365 with a sprinkle of like fall. This is so good. Currently at the gas station because I'm out of water. I drink one of these and then I drink a 12-ounce bottle of water and I need more water. And then I want to show you guys my latest upgrade on my Subaru. I definitely am happy with the upgrade and I'm going to show you guys right now. I got rain guards. Look at that. I finally got rain guards installed. Wow. When I tell you it makes a big difference, it makes a big difference in keeping me cool at night. Like, I'm so cool at night. It feels so good to be able to crack my window and people can't tell and I feel safe. Like last night I slept so good because I was able to crack this window right here because this is where I sleep. And I cracked the front passenger window and I was nice and cool with my fan. And for the first time, the absolute first time, my front windshield was not foggy in the morning. So yeah, major upgrade. I did get a new internet device. I want to try it out first to see if it works before I tell you guys what it is. I've used it once. It's good. I want to use it for like a good week and then I'll let you know what I got and my thoughts on it. Where is the water? Good morning. I'm hot. Like, I'm cool in here, but I can feel the temperature in my vehicle starting to rise. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and it's about 78 degrees. In the next couple of hours, it's going to be in the mid-80s, and the goal is to stay out of the vehicle, my car today. I got to do laundry. I don't have any clothes, and go to the gym, get a shower. This is where I slept last night. Got my front windshield covered. I didn't cover any of the side windows, but I've got that window cracked and that window cracked, and then there's my fan. And that's how I try my best to stay cool and comfortable at night. I'm so grateful that I got rain guards now, because it just really changes the game. I don't wake up to a foggy windshield, which is an indicator that someone's in here. My windshield is not foggy anymore, and it's a lot cooler in here, especially now during the summer months. I can tell a difference between last summer, when I didn't have rain guards and I didn't really crack my windows at all because I didn't want people to see cracked windows and attempt to break in my car, to this summer where I cracked 2 of my windows. Essentially, I could have cracked all 4, but I've just cracked these 2. I can tell a difference. It's a lot cooler, so I'm so happy that I got rain guards. It makes a huge difference in the comfortability aspect of the, as far as temperature and stuff in the car. Yesterday was just a chill day. I didn't have any plans, but I wanted to wrap up, and react to some of your comments regarding my Greyhound video. I wanted to talk about it, give my thoughts on a couple things, and just talk about it. Also wanted to try that mac and cheese. In hindsight, I shouldn't have added the tuna. Don't get me wrong, it was an 8 out of 10. It was still really good with the tuna. But going forward, I will make it again, and I won't add the tuna. It'll just be nice and cheesy. Like, I could see where it would be like bomb.com without the tuna. But I hadn't eaten all day and I wanted some protein. But you should try it. Maybe put your own spin on it. I didn't know what I was doing. That's kind of the best way I could think of it. If it wasn't hot, if it wasn't the summer, I would have taken some flaming hot Cheetos and crushed it and put it on top. But I didn't want to eat hot foods in a hot car while I'm hot. That's just not a good combination. But that's it, guys. I got a long day ahead of me. I gotta do laundry. I gotta take my car to the car wash. It's filthy. It's dirty. I just gotta stay out of this car all day because it's just gonna be hot. I don't know if I told you guys, but we're under an extreme heat advisory today. It's going to be that hot, and so I gotta stay out. That's just one of the downsides of living in your car full time, is the summer months. It's hot, and you gotta find ways to stay cool, and I know people will be like, well, just stay out of your car. And I do, but there are times when I don't want to be out of my car. I don't want to be walking around. I don't want to be in public. I just want to chill, have my downtime, my mental time. And, I can't really do that during the summertime. I know there are some parts of the country where it's a lot cooler. But, right now, at this point in my life, I don't want to be in those parts of the country. And, I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with now. But I'm going to go ahead and get my day started and get my laundry done and at least get that started, because your girl ain't got no clothes. Oh, man. Hope you enjoyed today's video. It was really just kind of a chill video. It was just really too hot to do anything. But I got a lot of fun stuff coming up, so stick around for all that, and make sure your post notifications are turned on so you can catch the awesome videos that I'll be posting. But this one was just one of those, videos, one of the days where I just didn't feel like doing anything. It was just too hot. It's too hot. Now I gotta climb in my front seat and get up out of here before people start getting up and walking around this hotel. I'm already running late. I'm usually going by now, but it's all good. It's hot out. Ain't nobody trying to be outside anyways. Throat is dry. I'm not getting sick. My throat is dry. And the wind from the fan is drying it out. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, hanging out, sticking around. I appreciate you guys. I really, really do. But I'm out. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. Peace.